So we all experience different trials and experiences in life, whether they involve joy, sadness, sorrow and happiness, or hope or fear. But they all end in some kind of lesson, or they help us shape who we are now, or who we were then, or both. Most of the time, at least who we are now. Um, but and it just is who we are, and it's part of who we are. And so 2 years ago, I had lost a friend, and it was the day that we found out. It was a normal day. It was October 9th in 2010. We were actually talking about and getting ready for Halloween and talking about what we were going to do together as a family. Me and my cousins were talking in my driveway, and we were talking and getting ready and talking about what the kids were going to be, and I was excited. Everyone was excited about it. Then my cousin's phone rang. It was my friend's sister, and she told us. And after she told us, I let out a cry, a loud shriek, yell, cry. After that, the next couple days at school were hard, of course. Everyone's talking about it. She was a student at my old school. I was still attending a regular school at that point, because I just started online last year, actually. But of course it's sad, but it's a tragedy, and I lost a good friend that day. But I also learned a lot. Anyway, so after that, the next days were hard. It was a Saturday. I went to school that Monday. They had grief counselors there and everything else, and they knew that I was good friends with her, and I had a thing for my classes that if I needed to, I could just go down to one of the counselors. But anyway, I was in an office where I helped out, and I had asked them if they knew anything about when the services were or anything, because I didn't know at this point. But they looked it up for me, and they told me that it was going to be the next day. And so I went the next day. I listened to the pastor who was talking and everything else, and he was just talking, and he did the normal service, so I thought. But the next day they were doing something for the youth, and it was a time for them to be able to share stories and everything else. So I went to that just to listen and sit there and listen and get some help and comfort and closure. Well, while I was there, somebody had come up to me and asked me, they handed me their phone number, and she handed me her phone number, and then she said, if you want to call me for any reason, or if you want to go out for ice cream or do something together, just so we can get to know each other some more. She was one of their youth leaders. She still is a youth leader there, actually, but she asked me if I wanted to, and I just kind of said no. I was a little creeped out at the point. It was a memorial service for one of my close friends. I have no idea who this person is. She's given me her phone number. I didn't think anything of it. So I just went into school for the next week. At this point, this is Thursday, so there's only Thursday, Friday left. So I decided that Sunday that I was going to go to their church for a service. So I walked there, and I sat through the service, nothing new. One of their pastors had talked to me at the beginning and sat me with somebody from Inner High, and then after that, the same youth leader stopped me, and we talked for a minute. It didn't have long because I was getting picked up, because that was a very long walk. That was an hour walk. But after that, the next week I got dropped off, and my dad had said, if you can, find another ride for somebody that you know. Well, I didn't know anyone, so I just planned on calling him to pick me up. Well, she stopped me once again and asked me if I needed a ride, and I told her the truth, and she's like, I can give you a ride. My husband wasn't there, and she gave me a ride. We sat in my driveway and talked and talked. Well, when I got out, I thought about what we had talked about, and it kind of sunk in with me, but I didn't think that me and her were going to have a close relationship. But that was 2 years ago, and now every week I go to the church. I'm a member. I'm part of their youth group. I'm part of the choir. I'm involved in different things. And the youth leader that gave me her phone number in the first place, her name is Kate. I talk to her all the time, almost every day. She's one of my closest friends. She's one of my biggest supports in life. And I just learned through all of this that you can find hope and joy and peace through sorrows, and you can find different things, and that one sad instance can turn your life from that point on into a bigger, and it can be for a greater good. And that's about it. It's that even through the toughest times you learn something, and that it teaches you in the future how to handle things, and that it can change who you are ultimately altogether. Because I would have never set foot in that church had it have not been for that, and I would not be who I am today, and I would not have the people in my life that I have now. Thank you for watching.